I am not sure what is going on here, but this dead raider was floating and fell to the ground. There's something banging about. There's also another floating dead person up there. I think it's one of the Enclave Science guys. What? I have never seen anything quite like this before. I'm having a weird day here. I'm trying to get to the location for today's video, but I now have raiders that are cosplaying as the Enclave, and some of them are levitating, which is kind of impressive. And oh, you are making so much noise. What is happening? Oh, okay. So yeah, here's a fun little wackiness. There we go. Get you on the ground. Who are you? Are you an Enclave person? Yeah. I am going to have to do some Googling here, guys, because I have never seen anything quite like this. But obviously this has been set up as a Enclave encampment and they're wearing the power armor. So, yeah, I guess these raiders managed to take over an Enclave encampment. Oh, forgot you. And you've got an eyeball on your head. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, yeah, okay. Oh dear. Yeah, so hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Emmy the Cat Lady here, and I'm on my way to the Corvega factory, which I've loaded a different save file because in the main save file I've got for these videos I've already kind of visited it and cleared it out. So I wanted to kind of do it again from scratch. I'm pretty sure that might be it there, so I'm just gonna jump down here. But weird things are happening when I started recording this because first I got the Fire Lance event, random encounter, and couldn't find it. And then I stumbled across that weird Enclave camp that the raiders had somehow managed to take over and were cosplaying as the Enclave. So we're having a weird start to today. And I also have this funny feeling that I've maybe covered the Corvega factory at some point, but I don't think I have. But let me know if I have, but hopefully I haven't, and it's just somewhere that I've already been that I kind of forgot about, that I'd already picked up all the stuff, but we'll see. So anyway, I think we're coming up to just directly here. Let me see. Yeah. So the Corvega factory is to the southwest of Vault 108. That's where it's located. And there is quite a few interesting things about it, as well as some useful loot. So, here we go, here's the parking lot. So, Corvega is obviously a brand of car that was produced pre-war. You do see posters and adverts for it, and we've got some less than pristine examples of it here in the parking lot, but it's a very popular brand of car. And Corvega was a division of Chryslus Motors Corporation, and we can find their headquarters in the Capital Wasteland too, so we'll be paying a visit there today as well. So here we are in the reception area. You might hear some skittering, although the game audio is quite low. There's giant ants in here. The place is full of giant ants, but we've got a nice big demonstration car in the reception desk and a toy car as well, which is kind of funny. As well as a big poster of the Corvega driving paradise. It's a beauty, all the rest of it. But we've got a line congressional style here. So as with most of these videos for the Capital Wasteland locations, we are going to be finding skill books and other useful bits and pieces. There are also a lot of ant egg clutches kicking about, which is lovely. But yeah, so we've got, obviously this would be the reception and the kind of sales offices for presumably people that wanted to buy them. We've got some anti-boys here to buy. I mean, to be fair, I can just ignore them really because I've turned combat off, so they can't actually do anything to me. Anyway, but there's quite a few of them, and you'll have spotted there is some dead raiders around. There's another rusty demonstration car. So clearly some raiders and Talon Company tried to kind of get into this building and take it over, and the ants didn't allow them to do that. But over here in this office, we've got the big book of science and some ammo in the... Oh, give me the book. Give me the book. There we go. Some ammo in the desk, which is an interesting choice, but, you know, do what you must. So yeah, nothing too exciting here. There's no terminals or anything. We've just got some offices and some ants. But there is another skill book to be found. Well, this doesn't go anywhere. Fair enough. But yeah, there's ant eggs everywhere. We've got some dead guys. More toy cars, which is kind of cute that I feel like they have placed an awful lot of toy cars in here because it's obviously a car factory. Kind of funny. But yeah, quite the horde of giant ants in this place, and there's a reason for that, which is this is the third location where you can find a giant ant queen. You're supposed to find a giant ant queen. I don't see her, but she's supposed to be here. Here, Queenie. There she is. There she is. So, yep, this is the third location where you can find a giant ant queen. If you're looking for the pheromones, the other places are in Marigold Station, sort of going through Greyditch, and Shalebridge. That's right, that location where you've got the two warring ant colonies. Shalebridge, that's where you find another giant ant queen. So that's 3 of them in the game, 3 opportunities to get the pheromones, which is nice because they're useful for obviously that one quest where you want to get that woman in what you call it, Rivet City, to hook up with a guy that works for the church and things, and that's one way of making that happen. But if we come up here, sort of the room where the giant ant queen is, and come right up to the top, this is like the foreman's office, and there's Dane's electronics on the desk here as well, and we've got some dead wastelanders and raiders and things. So also all the ant meat you could ever possibly want in your life, you'll find it here, if that's something that you're in the market for. Excuse me. Thank you. So yeah, that's the kind of interesting loot on the inside of this place, but there is more to find on the outside. You can also potentially find feral ghouls in here, so that's something just to bear in mind when you're exploring, but I think it's kind of random whether that happens or not. It's mostly just the bugs. Right, I'm trying to remember how to get here. This is a maze. Right, there we go. Right. Now we've got exit signs. That makes life much easier. Like, this is the way out. Ah, we've got the coffee station. Right. Okie dokie. So, head back outside. And there is a rusty dumpster behind the factory. Which is that there. We might need to make our way up the cliff to get into it. It's possible to get stuck, and you might have to yeah, you might have to jump from up there to get into it. But yeah, you can see there. So there's basically some dead people in there, and barrels, and a dead mole rat, as you do. Oh, bobby pins, nice, and some chems. But there's also a big book of science in here, which is nicely well hidden, so that's good. But yep, so useful thing there. And then if we head to the south of the factory, there is an overturned truck. I'll fill the road round it. Oh. Ground is glitching a bit. So I'm definitely having a bit of a weird day recording today, which is interesting. I really feel like I have done this before. A video. Oh. Here it is. Yeah, so we've got this overturned truck here that has some interesting bits and pieces. And oh, hello. Got some hunters. Who's the guy with the baseball bat? Ah. I am so confused. Anyway, here we go. So there is some useful stuff in the back of that overturned truck, but we need the key first. So if we come here, there's a skeleton with an empty bottle of whiskey or two, reaching for this box. So if we move it, there is supposed to be, oh, there is key. Yeah, so there's driver's key. So guessing this guy might be the driver of the truck, but we've got the key. So now we can go into the back. This does trigger a scripted raider ambush normally going in here, just to bear that in mind. But if we make our way up to the end here, we've got mini nuke, some railway spikes, stim pack, 30 US Army, 30 handy flamethrower recipes, and then the key lets us open this personal footlocker, which gives us a Chinese Army Spec Ops training manual and a combat shotgun, which is a nice to have, and some other, you know, random bits and pieces. So it's 2 more skill books, and then, yep, there's the Raiders. Bye. And bye. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty much all the loot to be found on the outskirts of this factory, and the Yankee Bravo signal is located just to the north. The cistern that radio signal sends you to, which I did cover in an earlier video where we visited all the radio signals, and that one is the one that has feral ghouls inside it and a Grognak the Barbarian skill book. So I know I've definitely covered that, and I'm wondering if I covered this at the same time. I can't remember. I'll double check. That. But yeah, so that's the Corvega factory. I say it's not quite as big and sprawling as the assembly plant that we see in Fallout 4, but there's some useful skill books and bits and pieces in there, and also one of the 3 opportunities to take down a giant ant queen. So that's quite useful. So now we're going to head over towards the city to the Chryslus building, so I will meet you there in just a bit. Here we go, here it is. So yeah, there's big kind of billboard on the side. So this is the Chryslus building here. So I'm just gonna make my way up and round. Didn't get the fire lance this time here, but this is the building we want. Yeah, this is the building that we want. So this is the head office for the car manufacturer, and in 2077 they were selling the Corvega for the low price of $199,999.99. What a steal. But due to the resource wars, combustion engines were no longer feasible, so they were selling a range of electric, fission and fusion powered models. And the Corvega was very popular, but we do find a terminal entry at the Red Rocket truck stop in Concord that mentions kind of coolant leakage issues, because if you're going to have a fusion or nuclear powered car, then instead of using fuel, it's coolant to obviously stop the power source from melting down. Very, very important thing to have. So yeah, that was a bit of an issue. Currently, the offices are occupied by, take a guess, it's super mutants, because of course it is. But before we head in, there is a fun thing to see round the back of the building. If we are sneaky enough to get away with it without them noticing. I say I've got combat turned off, so they shouldn't attack. But hoping that I can be sneaky enough to see. So we've got a baseball field here. And you can see there's two raiders. And one standing on the pitcher's mound who has grenades. And there's one that's on the home plate that has a baseball bat. And sometimes if you don't get detected and you watch them, the one with the bat will actually run the bases. So they don't actually properly play baseball, but obviously it's just a fun little kind of set piece. And oh, hello. Where did you guys come from? Is that the rest of the baseball team? Maybe it is. Anyway. Not my circus. I'm out of here. But yeah, so fun little set piece that, you've got these raiders that are kind of pretending to play baseball. Wonder if they know what it is, because clearly the guys that are living at Fenway Park in Boston don't seem to remember what baseball is. But anyway, yes, so Chryslus building reception area. So there's three kind of main sections to this location to explore. I hear three dog. I can stop. Okay, I'm just gonna have to turn all the master volume off, because I need three dog to not be there. In case he plays music. Anyway, so yep, here we are in the reception. So we've got a lovely big blue Corvega that unfortunately has suffered some slight damage from filing cabinets, office chairs, and the building. There is a quantum, Nuka-Cola quantum, to be found in the southeast corner, so somewhere over here. I need to go through here. Yeah, this basically, there it is. Yeah, so the place is pretty collapsed, but there's a Nuka-Cola quantum under the desk in here. And then there's also some fun stuff if we go upstairs in this section. So the sections that we're going into, they have two different levels each. And then you go through a loading zone to the next one. So I'm going to hopefully, it's very hard locked. There is a super mutant that has a master key. What's that? Baseball glove. Okay. Mm-hmm. Try along here. not yet. It's apparently a leveled super mutant, so I'm probably looking for a master or an overlord to have the key. Can't be, but it is. Sorry. Oh, I was going to say, where did your friend go? No, you don't have a key either. Ah, stairs. Oh, yep. I think this is the place. Oh, it's one of them. Ah, here we go. Yep. So yeah, oh, this one's fallen over. But yeah, this place we've got the garden gnomes holding the signs. So these are the same signs that you find with the skeletons. So right outside Vault 101's blast door, there's skeletons with picket signs saying that we're dying assholes and help us. So they've put them in here with some garden gnomes in the bathroom here. So not massively mind blowing, but kind of funny. Um, you know. Oh, there you go. He was just pretending to have a gun there. Anyway, yep, let's head back down the stairs to the room that we kind of want to get into. So it's basically a door with a terminal outside it. Which we will find hopefully just directly. So yeah, over here. Somewhere on this side. Again, there's not really any interesting terminal entries in this place. The terminals are just really for unlocking things. Metallic. Oh, detector. Nice. So, disengage lock. That lets us go in here. So, a few fun things in this room, nicely highlighted by the light coming through. So, we've got some ammo boxes here, and we've got a guns and billets and a scoped 44 Magnum in this room. And this also takes us into another section of the building, which is the lower offices. So we come down here, and this takes us through a wee loading zone into the lower offices. So there is a couple of useful bits and pieces. I thought I'd put the pit boy light on, I must have forgot. So you know, quite a few random bits and pieces, plenty of loot dotted about here for all your needs. That's even, is that mine? Yeah. Okay. There are some very hard locked doors in here. The mutant that has the key lets you open them. There are vicious dogs hiding behind at least some of them. Although you can see the green dots on my compass because this character has animal friends, so the dogs don't care. But you need to find the right mutant that has the key to get into all of those. We've got the gore bags and things, so obviously super mutants have been making themselves right at home. Some strange meat. Oh, hello. Ah, I bet you're the one with the key if you're the overlord. Because it's listed in the wiki as a leveled super mutant that has the key. There we go, master key. So my character is like 22 in this save file, so yeah, we tend to get the big bad guys spawning for us. So obviously gore bags and things can be quite a useful source of loot, and yeah, you can see this is all offices. There's computers and typewriters everywhere. So I think we need to go down a level. So there is an office that has a stealth boy in it. That was good. I just picked the right one. So yeah, there's next to a telephone, in one of these rooms with no ceiling. There's a stealth boy to collect. I'll show you that in the local map actually, that might be helpful. So yeah, so that's where we came from. So we're kinda in the middle here. And near the door to the basement there is another skill book. Oh, so if we find the way that takes us down to the basement, then we should be able to find that. Right. I've seen there's whiskey in the Etotronic. Can I just recommend that whiskey alone is probably not advisable for your diet. Oh, we've got Voltec poster and a army recruitment poster. Nice. Some skeletons. Cool. Somebody's been doing some finger painting. Right, okay, so basement door is here, so we need to get up a level and be above that. So let's see if we can find our way back to a staircase of some kind. Maybe I can't, maybe there isn't another way back. I don't know. If there is, we'll find it. This isn't it. Oh, levitating book. Like I said earlier, I'm really having a weird day in this game. I don't know why. It's I guess laws of physics are just optional today. Aye. Right. Here we go. Right, so we're now back up a level, so we're just kind of going to go straight ahead from here and try and not fall through the holes in the floor. This is it. Yep, here we go. So yeah, we've got this the big office room with the typewriters. This is what I was looking for. And we've got these containers. They're described as white on the wiki. They're not really white, but there is a pugilism illustrated hiding in there. So that's another skill book under our belt. So let's head down to the basement. Which is kind of just in that direction there. So we jump down here. Oh, try not to walk into walls. That's always a good start. There we go. Right, basement time. There we go. Why is it blue? Oh, centaurs are disgusting. They really give me the creeps. Yeah. Anyway, yes, so the basement here has a slight blue purple tint to it for some reason, which I don't like. Another centaur. So, westernmost room. So we just need to keep heading west. Metal shelf. Right, you're blocking the door with your invisible gun. Metal shelf. There we go. Oh, there's a leaf blower too. So, yep, big book of signs in here. And then if we head for first aid box, never turn down a first aid box. Head for the northernmost room. God, it's one of you guys. Ugh, overlords are so tedious. Where are we going? Takes us back to reception area. We're not ready for that yet. Yeah. Here it is. Right, I'm just going to ignore the centaur for now. So, yep, we've got a safe here. There's a stealth boy. And inside the safe, there's another scoped 44 Magnum. Yeah. And then there's another terminal here that you can open the safe. So yeah, plenty of kind of good loot in here. Obviously, the gore bags can be a good source of stuff as well. So yeah, quite a lot of useful bits and pieces. It's a shame that there's not really any kind of terminal entries or any funny stories to find, but I do like the garden gnomes with their little signs in the bathroom. That makes me laugh, so that's quite fun. But yeah, I mean, most of the cars that they have, unfortunately, are inoperable. They're rusting away. Most of them are damaged, and a lot of them were kind of deactivated by the EMP from the bombs. So they can't be driven, and they're left to rust away. It doesn't mean that the cars are useless. A lot of them still have their nuclear reactors intact, so they can come in handy as an explosive trap for enemies. Anytime if you've ever, once you meet Three Dog at GNR and you go out the back and set off a chain reaction, all the vehicles, that's quite fun. And it could be quite useful when you've got hostiles next to cars. You can just make the car explode. That said, there is one car that you can acquire in the Fallout series, which is a Chryslus Highwayman that the Chosen One in Fallout 2 can acquire and make use of. You can also find a wrecked Highwayman, which may or may not be the same vehicle, which is found not far from Novak in Fallout New Vegas as a Easter egg for Fallout 2. And the names that they've used for the companies are a clear nod to real-life car manufacturers. So Chrysler Motors Corporation, it takes names from Chrysler and General Motors, which are two American car manufacturers. And Corvega is a portmanteau of Corvette and Vega, which is two Chevrolet car models. And the designs take an awful lot of inspiration from car designs in the 1950s. A lot of the designs, you can see the inspiration from real life car varieties in that time period. I'm by no means an expert on American car models. I did drive a Ford once, but that was quite a long time ago when I was still at university, and I've been driving Suzuki cars for over a decade. They're obviously a Japanese manufacturer, brilliant cars. I love my Suzuki. It's one of the best cars I've ever owned. I did drive a Ford Fiesta, which was also a good wee car back in the day. But I do like the designs, and it does fit your Fallout aesthetic, where it's very much the kind of 1950s World of Tomorrow vibe. And it's also fun just to make the cars explode. So, yeah, a couple of interesting locations there to explore. And again, I've acquired quite a few skill books from here, which is fun. I will double check that I haven't already covered the Corvega factory in a previous video. I don't think I have, but I will double check. But hopefully you've enjoyed going through these with me, and as always, I do love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.